r/Askreddit. What was your senior prank? Our whole class gathered into a circle in the front of the school and pretended that two kids were fighting in the middle, screaming, video recording, etc. Eventually the school's police officer and some teachers pushed everyone away to find two kids playing a game of chess. We combined our senior prank with our senior gift for our band director. We took his old desk chair, brought it up to the top of the two-story watchtower that he stands on to watch us during marching rehearsals, and threw it off, filming his reaction of course. Then, when he brought us inside to yell at us, boom, there was a new chair sitting at his desk. We listed our school on Craigslist and our principal got calls all day for the property. I had a physics teacher who I really liked, but wasn't a really good teacher. Most days, he would fill up an erasable board full of notes, wait for us to write them down, then erase it, write another board full of notes, wash, rinse, repeat. This was during the very early days of erasable boards being in schools. His was the only one in our whole district. And I got tired of writing down effing notes. So one day, I peeped out the brand of marker he used. And went to the store and bought 2 boxes. And some permanent markers. Went home, pulled out the forceps, pulley, stuffy, and viola, 2 boxes full of erasable marker bodies with permanent felts and ink. Now, to have a buddy distract the teacher before class starts, swap all the markers, and sit down and wait for the fireworks. When he first went to erase the board, nothing happened. He kinda squinted at the board, pulled the eraser across it again. Again, nothing. Now he knew what was up. Turned to the class, "Welp, I guess that's all the notes for today. Nice prank, whoever you are. See you tomorrow." After our final class, we all left. And never came back. My senior prank got thwarted by our school principal sleeping inside the school to make sure we didn't pull anything off. Classmate literally scaled the side of the building and got in the school through a roof access hatch, only to find the principal waiting for him on a couch. First question the principal asked the student, "How on earth did you get in here?" That's not important. We turned our building into a crime scene, with a body, fake blood, some people dressed up as cops and investigators and everything. Then later we accused our principal and arrested him in a cage on the school court for everybody to see. His only chance to get out was by his teacher winning mini games against us. We ran Bart Simpson for student council president. This would be 1990. He came in second. Apparently a bunch of people were going to each sneak a marble into our principal's hand when they shook it while walking across the stage during graduation so that, at some point in time, the principal would lose his marbles. Or, in other words, we didn't have a senior prank. We all skipped class and tailgated in the senior parking lot. We set up grills, brought snacks and drinks, someone even brought a ping pong table and we played beer pong, with soda. One of my favorite memories from that day was when 2 of the kids who were particularly known for partying a lot took on the president and the dean of students at Pong. My uncle always tells me about his senior prank. He was in high school in the 80s. He had a gutted old Volkswagen, and thought it would be funny to put it somewhere in the school. With the help of a janitor and friends over a weekend, he disassembled the body and moved every piece to an upstairs hallway, where they reassembled it. Monday comes and the faculty finds a car on the 2nd floor of the school. Meanwhile, my senior class, 2015, decided to park in all the faculty parking spots. They got pissed, we got tickets. Fun times. Our lunchroom had huge ceilings, so a few of my friends on the football team bought a bunch of inflatable sex dolls, filled them with helium and let them loose up there. Nothing like eating lunch to see a wide-mouthed sexy doll with a huge erection staring down at you with those dead eyes. We all decided it would be a great idea to park in complete disorganization. See all those orderly lines on the ground? Fuck those. We also locked the principal's car to one of those cinder block parking stoppers. It wound up making the morning news and he, the principal, threatened to call the towing company. Was it the greatest prank? Not really. But it was alright. Lake Washington High had a kangaroo in profile with boxing gloves out. This was painted on the front of their school. Maybe 15 to 20 feet tall and purple. It did not take much imagination to paint a dick on the kangaroo. Go Mustangs! We swapped senior classes with another local high school for the day. Their entire class was assigned one of us, and each of us were assigned one of them. It was actually a lot of fun, until the electricity blew at our original high school, so they all got to go home early. Our school was scared of seniors pulling pranks, especially since the previous year made slip and slides and had a massive water gun and balloon fight indoors. The staff didn't want anyone to get hurt or the school to be vandalized, so the principal offered a free barbecue and free ice cream from a truck on the final day if no prank was pulled. People were planning to rent cows and pigs to release inside. But that wasn't good enough. Our class had to step it up. In the end, you know what our prank was? Nothing. We just had the barbecue. We took screwdrivers with us to school and randomly unscrewed things over the course of months, non-essential screws, so that whatever we were removing screws from was still left intact. A bucket of screws was later delivered to the principal with no context. Only as an adult am I able to appreciate how truly annoying this must have been. About 30 years ago, the senior class bought 10,000 business cards that simply said, "Class of 1985, and hid them everywhere. Under couches, behind paintings, in books in the library, in ceiling tiles. Needless to say, the cards are occasionally found even to this day. I didn't show up for like 2 months and they kicked me out. I showed them. Unfortunately, we didn't have one. Our principal was a hard ass and said that anyone caught doing anything out of the ordinary would be expelled, would not graduate, and would not be allowed to go to prom or senior night. So we all just kind of waited around for someone ballsy enough to do something, and no one did. It was harmless. A bunch of kids got permission from the janitorial staff to post-it note the entire senior hall. They almost got expelled. Small town, very uptight. This was not the official prank, but it did happen senior year. The psych teacher, Miss F, was always pointy-faced and unfair. She got mad at a few slackers and ended up making herself feel better by giving a pop quiz with the grade on it being a third of our final grade. This brought down quite a few students' GPA and much rancor ensued. Well, she also had a doll that sat on her desk. Little Lord Fauntleroy was its name. It had a lacy collar and a wee little hat, short blue pants with suspenders. She introduced it the first day of class, and we all thought her eccentric. A few days after the unfair quiz, Little Lord Fauntleroy, LLF, went missing. Miss F was pissed. She wept, chewed us out, demanded his return. And soon after that came the ransom note. It demanded the results of the quiz be expunged for all and our grades returned to pre-quiz levels. Or LLF would get it. The next class the shit really hit the fan. She strode back and forth, crying, demanding we rat out the culprits, and refusing to give in. A few days later a dahlia was sent to her in-school mailbox. Wow, she went bonkers. This was after the Getty kidnapping and ear-slicing event. A note came with the ear repeating the demand. More angry tears. I felt bad for her, but it was also gleeful. She had never been fair and she had openly mocked me as I was clumsy at drawing a pencil through a maze while looking in a mirror. Graduation was fast approaching. The last note enclosed a photo of LLF with a black hood on his head, and a noose around his neck. Miss F caved. He showed up on her desk the next day, both ears on. They must have sliced another doll's ear. We got our grades back, she had her doll. She retired not many years after that. It remains a mystery who kidnapped LLF, but I take my hat off to whoever it was. At graduation about 10 to 15 of us each had our own tubes of glitter. At the end when they say, "We give you the class of 2012, or whatever," instead of the graduation caps we threw the glitter in the air. The principal was not impressed. We also had Water Fight Wednesday, which consisted of poking holes in the caps to water bottles and spraying the shit out of each other until one of our friends dumped a whole Gatorade bottle on someone and they had to change into gym clothes. Fun times. A few years ago the senior class just went to the school at night and did classic things like balloons and water cups and stuff. The administration freaked out and canceled this ceremony that everyone loves that we do on the last day. The parents flipped and the police were called because they were yelling so much. Last year someone bought a goat and brought it to school. My whole class got together to do a senior prank. The bright idea of the group was to an ABC day. Ha, big surprise. Me and my friend thought it was pretty lame, so we hid in the school on a Friday, and after everyone had left, he had a key to the school, was SGA president, we decided to do our own senior prank. Our headmaster's office, dean of students, secretary, and head of the upper school all had glass offices. Like 3 sides glass, 1 side cement block. We filled every single office to the ceiling with balloons. It seriously took us like 5 hours of blowing up balloons, just the 2 of us, to fill every office. I then proceeded to unload some motherfucking confetti down all the halls, fucking covering the floors. I mean, there was goddamn confetti everywhere. Then I got the bright idea to cover every door handle, every locker handle, all of the dry erase markers, erasers, pencil sharpeners, chair adjustment handles, pens, pencils, phones, literally everything and anything I could think of that anyone would have to touch. In Vaseline. I probably went through 15 or 20 jars of that stuff, and I got everything. So we get that all that done Friday night and leave early Saturday morning, like 1 to 2 a.m. Monday morning rolls around and I expect to come to school and see chaos, or expect some assembly on how the senior class took it too far, or have it be cancelled, or just like anything major happen from our weekend shenanigans. But when I walked in, the headmaster shook my hand, like he does every morning. Every student gets greeted first thing in the morning. It was private school, and acted like nothing had happened. Me and my friend both are like, WTF is going on, where's the chaos, where's the whodunit? Apparently someone had come in Saturday, saw what the fuck kind of mess everything was, and the cleaning staff had to come in on the weekend and fucking clean the whole place. No big reveal to the school, no teachers said anything, no nothing, no confetti, no balloons, no Vaseline, not a goddamn thing happened. It was like stepping into the Twilight Zone. So really, all we accomplished with our mischief was ruining the weekend for our cleaning staff. I still feel like a fucking asshole 10 years later. A kid in our Facebook group suggested everyone bringing in 2 watermelons, so there would be like 700 watermelons lying around the school. As a result, everyone, and I mean everyone in our grade, brought in 2+ watermelons, so our school was covered with watermelons. Also, our vice principal, who is black, thought that the prank was racist and hateful against him and asked every black kid in the school if the prank was racist. Among our senior prank day antics, my group put rubber ducks in every toilet. Should have been small, but after skipping school to watch the premiere of the newest Marvel movie, we later heard one of the boys from the middle school section actually tried to flush it. The water streamed down the hall and went around 2 corners before reaching the door of the nearest classroom. So yeah, accidental water damage. The seniors from a previous year parked a truck in the art room though. I don't think anyone will ever top that. We planned to throw water balloons in the morning as everyone walked in, but the dean threatened to hold diplomas, so people just sat on the ground. It was pretty lame. Then some jackass threw a balloon full of mayonnaise at a school bus and obliterated the windshield and got arrested. We didn't really have one, but the grade before has a fun one. Our school has this set of stairs going up 5 floors, so the seniors got hundreds of ping pong balls and each student wrote their own personal message to the school on a ball, and during one of the passing periods, they dumped them down from the top of the floor. It made a sound like a giant rainmaker, and it was pretty cool that pretty much the entire class was a part of it. Not my class, but a few years back, the athletic trainer has a John Deere 6-wheeled thing that they drive around campus. Someone thought it was a good idea to steal it. The cops were called and a policeman chased after them. He had a heart attack and fucking died. We now don't do senior pranks. Someone put superglue in almost all of the door locks in the school. Classes had to be held outside that day. I'm sure the administration loved that one. 2 friends and myself ordered 1,000 stink bombs from a German website that were in individual small glass capsules. We divided up the capsules into latex gloves and tied the wrist part shut. About an hour before the end of the day, we each took our share of stink bomb filled latex gloves and each went to one of the 3 HVAC intakes located throughout the school. We stomped on the latex gloves, breaking the glass capsules and cutting the latex in the process, and ran out to the parking lot. While we sat in my car, we watched as all of the windows on the exterior of the building started being flung open with people leaning out trying to get fresh air. The hallways quickly filled up and students started to flood into the parking lot. There wasn't a single person who could have managed to stay in a classroom with that stench. Good times. Mattress in the pool. Can't remove it with just manpower, you need more.